transition from San Diego State to here? How did it happen, and how are you settling in?
Yeah, obviously, I was back home for the second time, and leaving that place was not an easy decision. I told my wife and my kids that it had to be a great opportunity for me to leave again, leave that institution that I spent so much time at, and kind of out of the blue, Coach reached out to me, asked if I had interest, and it was going to take an opportunity like this one to get me back out of there. That transition has been very smooth. It is everything I've expected it to be. I kind of made the decision professionally, based on a couple of things, right? Like the tradition, the rich tradition here at Kansas State, very important to me. The importance of football at this university and in this state, very important. The great player development that's been offered here, and seeing guys like Sam Hecht, who just finished his pro day or his combine, like seeing a walk-on player come into this place, and that's kind of been my MO my whole career, is developing players and having the resources. I've never had the resources that Kansas State offers for player development. The interesting thing with the development part of it, and the reason I took this job is like we have all the resources, but being here 2 months now and really seeing how all that works together and the alignment that Coach Klein puts on those different departments and how everything is so in line, and we get instant feedback on player performance, and being able to take that feedback, give it to the players, and kind of move them along in their development. I think that was critical. And then I think the biggest one that made the move so easy for me and the family was the be in line with someone of Coach Klein's with Coach Klein and what he's done offensively. Right, being able to work with one of the top offensive coaches in the country was definitely a something that attracted me here to Manhattan.
What are the most important traits an offensive lineman has to have to play for you?
Yeah, I think obviously when we're looking from an evaluation standpoint, I kind of look at it from an evaluation physical trait standpoint, and then kind of mentally what we're looking for. Physically, right, like we're always going to start identifying players that can potentially play here with their frame. Right, like are they going to meet the measurables that we're looking for that certain position? Then we're going to look at their feet. Can they turn their feet over? Can they drive their knees on contact? Those are certain things we're going to look for. And then their flexibility, right? Because this playing offensive line is a battle of vertical leverage, and you got to be able to play hip under hip, and that is something that we're going to study and look for when we're trying to obtain and acquire talent. And then the last thing is how are they on contact? Are they willing to put their face in it? And are they going to finish blocks proper to the standard that we're going to set in this program? And then when you look at it mentally, like we kind of break it down from our philosophy in the offensive line room, like the most important thing to us is going to be our attitude. Are we going to show up every damn day, ready to attack the day, right? Like it's not a matter of doing the activity, but how you're doing the activity is going to be important to us, right? Are we going to try to develop an edge, and we're going to play with great effort?
With jigsaw pieces of trying to form this thing together on who you had returning and just who you added, just what did you make of the room that you took over and where it's at now after the additions? Yeah,
I think you look at that room and kind of what we walked into, and obviously the one thing lacking is the overall experience, right? You got Pastore with really the only true tested Big 12 experience in the room, so we had to add some Division I experience. I think we did that through the portal. I think there were some quality players here that had a little bit of bad luck a year ago in George Fitzpatrick and Gus Hawkins, things like that. But the pieces we've added were strategically. Most of the issues out of the portal were interior pieces where we lost a lot. We already talked about Sam Hecht. Losing him is going to be a big blow to this program, and we got to try to mitigate that as much as we can. And we brought a guy in from Akron, and Delvin Morris, who's done nothing but show us so far to this point that he can be the guy that kind of takes the reins there at that center position. He's done a nice job in the transition. The thing I've been mostly impressed with is you're always a little cautious a little bit when you have to add so many bodies to a new room. I think the plan that we've had in the offseason and getting those guys out there working together and doing hard stuff together has really, really glued that group so far, and just pleased on how they're gelling as a unit at this point.
Is Patrick on at trajectory to practice during the spring?
Yeah, we're still sorting through that. He's gone through winter workouts. He is doing one heck of a job, and I'm very excited about his future here at Kansas State.
What's your relationship with Colin Klein? You said he called, but
Yeah. So first of all, I wasn't looking to leave San Diego State again. Connor Riley had reached out to me and asked if there would be interest on our end. I go way back with Coach Riley doing some clinic stuff and all that when we were running similar offenses. At my first stint there at San Diego State, he called me, asked if there would be interest. I said, there's no doubt to work for a guy like Coach Klein. I would love to see what he has to say. Went through an interview process with him, took about 2 days there. He called me on the third day and offered me the job, and I was on the plane the next. So just couldn't pass up this great opportunity to compete at the highest level. And the other thing that always kind of goes through my mind is the expectation I have for the players. I want to live by those same expectations, and I want players to develop. In order for those guys to develop, they got to get out of their comfort zone. Well, me as a coach too. I get comfortable back there at home, and I think this process already in 2 months, I've grown more as a coach, right, than sometimes I have 2 years back home.
Transition from San Diego to here, just how's that been for you? And
Yeah. It's been great. Actually, I'm fired up. My family gets here tomorrow, so that'll be a relief a little bit. We're moving into a house next week. That transition's been smooth, mostly because of this place and this university and how easy they've made the transition for me, right? I've came in and just put my head down and gone to work, whether it was right from the start, that first day we're working on portal guys, and then kind of transition there, getting out on the road and meeting some of the 27 class, and then back here with our players, So it's been a lot of work. I know we got spring break coming up here, so my wife and the kids are gonna enjoy that when they get out here.
Trade San Diego for Manhattan.
Yeah, she traded San Diego for Syracuse, so I can sell Manhattan a little bit better. Yeah.